Welcome back to RealHouseDIY. Today we're taking a look at Ninja Slacklines, general review, installation tips, disassembly at the end of the season, and please remember to hit that subscribe button. Talking about brands, this is going to be a general review for any of the brands. We've bought them all. They're all basically the exact same hardware. So whether you're talking about Barefoot, Ninja Warrior, Ninja Slackline, Slackers, they're really all the same, even the universal ones that you can find. They all install the exact same way. Tons of different attachments you get. You can get the cargo net. These ones here, these are for tree climbers. This is just a single smaller ratchet strap. It goes around a tree trunk. You have those rock climbing holds. You have the much larger ratchet strap, which is used for the slackline itself and all the attachments. This is what holds on the individual attachments. It's just this piece that threads through the ratchet strap. This triangle unscrews to put your attachment on and to get through the loop. Some things like swings, obviously you're going to use two of these. You have these felt loops with Velcro. That's going to give you some protection around the tree and some protection to the strap. And you've got swings, ladders. And my kids like all these. The only one that we have some trouble with is the steering wheel. If you're holding this perfectly on each side, it's fine. If you move just a little bit, you're gonna end up falling down like that. There's one time holding on this side, it flipped up, hit my kid in the face. So of all the attachments we have, that's the only one that can be a little bit tricky. And you can also use the actual swing set attachments on these. And the chains attach easily to these triangles. If you're going to use the cargo net, you can attach it to just the top slack line, but you're gonna have some trouble climbing it. As you're climbing it without an attachment on the bottom, it's just gonna pull down really far here. So you're gonna have some trouble. So it's advisable to use the lower slack line on that as well to tighten that up at the bottom. So in terms of what you wanna buy, first you wanna plan it out. Find the trees that you want these between, measure the distance, and that will tell you the length of the slack line that you need. Instructions do tell you about the size of the tree you put on. This is about the smallest that I put it on. That's about a 12-inch wide tree. I also specifically look up at the top of the tree. You know, pine tree like this one is fine. Then we have this oak tree over here with some dead limbs up at the top. I would not attach a slack line to that. And you also want nice level ground. You could have this on a bit of a slope if you wanted. You'd just be limited to a starting point. If you're using those swing attachments down at the end, swing from one loop to the next. If you're using swings with these, we used to have two swings on this particular slack line, which works okay. However, two kids swing at the same time, even if the slack line is incredibly tight, it's still gonna have some bounce up and down. So I suggest only having one swing per slack line. And also for a bigger kid swing, we also had a slack line between these two trees. That's about 12 to 15 feet across, not as long as the other one. This one with the slack line nice and tight. We had it up nice and high too, and that worked great for just having a swing attached. We were considering getting another swing set. The old one we had was starting to rot, so we took that apart. Instead of paying several $1,000s for a new swing set, we decided for a few years that the kids would actually be using this. It wouldn't be worth it to get another swing set. Instead this, $100, $200, get the slack lines, and it's very adjustable. We can move it around wherever we need it to. We can move it up the trees as kids get taller in height. So it's very versatile compared to a swing set. For installation, got the felt pad, goes around the tree. If that isn't long enough, that's okay, just hold on to the bark there. If it's longer, then the Velcro is able to attach. And then the first loop of this goes through and comes out. I suggest laying this out on the ground so you can get the spacing just how you want for all your attachments. And you're gonna thread all of those loops on. And that's the most time-consuming part, is threading all these loops on, getting them exactly right. If you have taller kids, they might want these further apart. For this one, like a swing, it needs to be a specific width apart. Same for these bars. Then for these other ones, doesn't really matter. These are single pieces. Those can go whatever distance apart you want. So once those are all laid out, I then went ahead and put the attachments on and got the first loop down this end on the tree and held up this side to confirm with my kids that this was a good height for them. And once that's done, you can work on tightening up the rest of the way. This side is just another felt piece on the tree. This piece here is separate, and then you thread this through. It's a ratchet strap, and then just cranks on to tighten it up. And you can really tighten this up as tight as you want. I've seen people have these hang loose. So to install it for the ratchet strap, just gotta thread strap through the ratchet, pull it tight. As soon as it's tight, I'm gonna hold the strap here and then crank this. After you have the ratchet strap as tight as you want, this piece here doesn't really matter. I like to keep it more closed. This piece can be free here if you want. The one thing that you definitely want to make sure is correct here, this piece here, you want this fully engaged into a cog. You don't want it right on the edge where if it loosens, it's gonna fall down. So you check that on both sides. To remove the ratchet, pull down on this handle here, move it all the way. You're gonna try to get it completely straight. So you have to push it up now. That completely loosens it. And then you can remove the strap. I'm just going to take this off the tree. If this were up high for swings, then you're going to be using a step ladder. I do want to disassemble this once a year, especially for winter. If you have ice forming inside the ratchet strap there, that's going to cause some problems with it. You don't want these parts to fail. A few other reasons to remove this. One time taking the felt piece off, it was full of bugs underneath. Don't want those bugs causing damage to the tree. Another reason might be more obvious. It is going to cause some damage to the tree. The tree wants to grow, and if that tight strap is around it, it's going to cause problems for the tree. It can cause some damage to the bark. This here is on a maple tree. There's what it looks like 1 year after on a pine tree. And of course, each year, because it's gonna get taller, they're gonna need this moved up higher anyway. So you might as well just take it down for a few months over the winter before you put it back up again in the spring. And if you're in an area where you're gonna get winter storms, you might have some tree damage. You don't want limbs falling on this and breaking it when you're not using it. And then taking the felt off. And you can see, especially on this tree, definitely good to take this down for a while. The strap was right here. You can see a decent amount of growth on either side. That'll be good for the tree to have that off for a while. Next year, you can put it up higher or move it to a different tree altogether. Over on this side on the oak tree, you can see on the felt there, you know, the bugs definitely like hiding in there. And then the tree itself, you have some soft spots in the bark here, and again get some more bugs hiding in there. So again, good to get it off the tree, let the tree grow. Next year, move it up higher or onto a different tree. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.